Hello everyone and welcome. It's Maria Kliavkov from Healthy Morning Revolution, and I'm on for another YouTube. This time we're going to talk about messages and meanings. I've had requests from a number of people to talk about messages and meaning, and so I went to my go-to book, which is the book that I wrote, Healthy Morning, Happy Loving, and I actually just want to read a paragraph and talk about the paragraph for a second. So a paragraph from page 35 of the book says, "When a loved one dies, we look for signs everywhere. We look for signs that they are okay, signs that we will be okay. We hope for messages and put meaning and significance into what may be insignificant events in other people's eyes. Feathers in our path, a blue sky with a heart or angel cloud formation, heartstones, butterflies on our path, all carry significance for those who see the event and give meaning to it. Meaning is personal. It is our interpretation that gives significance and meaning to an event. It is important that we not allow others to minimize our experience, particularly if the event brings us comfort and peace. The meaning that we give these events is our way of coping with that which seems impossible to digest." So here's the thing. So many people want to find meaning and they want to find messages in everything around us, and they can be quite distraught that they haven't seen messages or they're not open to receiving messages. And this is what I'm going to say to all of you who are seeking messages. Messages are truly everywhere. What it's going to require is for us to take a deep breath and to see things around us freshly, right? To recognize and notice what's right in front of us at any given moment, and that requires us to be present to the moment. So my invitation to all of you is to get really peaceful and quiet, and we do this by taking deep breaths and breathing into our bodies and into our hearts, and just taking a look at what we recognize, what we see around us. Sometimes it might be a butterfly. I had the most extraordinary experience of having a butterfly at my front door. And when I opened my door, I didn't even notice the butterfly until it started moving and fluttering away after I had jarred the door. So, in that moment, I felt like that was a visitation from my Father, simply because of what was going on in my world at that time, right? And I thought, what a beautiful visitation, and how sad I was that I had disrupted it or that I had not noticed it. The remarkable thing was, by bringing my focus and my attention to it, I opened the door, I had closed the door, and as I was locking it from the inside, the butterfly returned to the glass and was sitting right there. So we can find meaning in anything. Yeah? Animals are a wonderful way to find meaning. So if you're going for a walk and suddenly, as I said before, a butterfly comes by, or an eagle, or a hawk, any bird that circles around you, you can also find meaning in animals that are far away. We can also look up the meaning of a particular animal. For instance, a deer crossed my path recently in a very magical way, and I looked up what the meaning of deer energy is, and I found that deer energy is all about gentleness. So sometimes we recognize that a message has come through, but maybe we're not clear on what that message is. Again, we can either check in with ourselves, because our heart knows what the message is. Yeah? We may find a feather in our pathway. That's another great way of receiving a message. And my dear friend Eileen McGann has a beautiful song, "If There Be Angels, Won't You Drop Me a Feather Today?" And it seems like whenever I hum or sing that song, if I go walking, I find either feathers on the ground in front of me, or as I've shared with my Facebook group, the Healthy Morning Revolution Facebook group, I've posted pictures of feathers I've found along the way, which include stained glass feathers that are in windows of shops that I had not noticed before. So sometimes the whole point of hearing messages is bringing our willingness and our attention to hearing and seeing those messages. And the other thing I talk about there are clouds and cloud formations. Taking the time to actually look up, it's astonishing when I think to look up what I see in the clouds. Whether it's a heart formation that happens, or sometimes it's a tree that's reminding me to go to nature. Sometimes it's an angel that I just feel profound peace from. And if there's anybody in your life who would say, oh, that's ridiculous, that has no meaning, don't listen to them. Because meaning is the meaning that you give any particular message coming forward for you. So being willing to sit with that message, to feel that message, to hear that message inside your being, you know the truth of it from how it resonates inside your being. Now I know that I've also received questions about messages in dreams, and in particular when the dream is disturbing. I'm going to talk more about that in my podcast, so I invite you to jump on over to my podcast, Healthy Morning Revolution Radio, and hear kind of that part of this conversation. If you like this video, if you want me to be talking about anything in particular in the coming weeks, please put comments down below, and in particular, make sure that you subscribe for this so that you get notification every time we post a video. Same with the podcast. And as always, I welcome you into the Healthy Morning Revolution group on our Facebook page. Much love to you all. Namaste.